Good morning, Unity of Sacramento. It is good to be in the house today. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. You all been doing the thing. I do want to take just a couple seconds to let you know you're doing it well. And we're feeling you. We're feeling you not only in Cambridge, Massachusetts, at Harvard, but we're feeling you across the country, and people are still reveling in amazement at the spiritual community that love is building on Folsom Boulevard in Sacramento, California. For all the ways that you are holding this spiritual community and holding the light for this spiritual community and being the light that we send forth from this spiritual community, I give you thanks. We welcome any of you who are here with us for the first time, second time, or it's been a long time. We thank you for being in this spiritual community, and we expect today that you will go home better. Would that be all right with you? And know that our veterans here, the individuals who have been here for some time, will be happy to show you some good Unity of Sacramento hospitality. So we are actually in the Lenten season. Can you believe it? Was it January yesterday? We just had the Christmas concert, Carla said. Time does not stand still for any man, right? And so we are in the Lenten season, and for us here, we work with the Lenten season in a special way, and so for some of you, this is going to be review this morning. For others of you, this is going to be new this morning. Tell somebody, get in where you fit in. Tell them, get in where you fit in. And for me, this means that I am in the home stretch to graduation. I graduate from Harvard Divinity School May 25th, 2023. So now if you are thinking of someone to put on your prayer list, look no further, because they are not playing in those Harvard streets up there. But we are in the Lenten season, and I just want to put a context on it for those of us who are maybe new to Lent. We teach here that Lent is a season of mind fasting and soul feasting. What is it? Come on. A season of mind fasting and soul feasting. It is the 40-day period commemorating Jesus' experience in the wilderness, beginning with Ash Wednesday and culminating on Easter Sunday. Okay? And so it's that period of testing and overcoming that the master teacher took as he was preparing to begin his formal ministry. And in Unity, when we are studying Scripture, when we're looking at the ancient text, we are not just looking at it with reference to the players of old, the characters from antiquity. But tell somebody nearby, and if you're in the live stream, type it in the chat room. This is your story. This is my story. Tell somebody, this is your story. This is my story. Now tell them, this is your journey. This is my journey. Come on, this is your journey. This is my journey. And so the Lenten season is our spiritual journey of mind fasting and soul feasting. And so I am going to assume that somewhere along the way you have started Lent back at Ash Wednesday. But just in case you have not, I want to bring us up a little bit as to how we can enter the on-ramp of this spiritual journey and prepare ourselves for our own resurrection, because that's where we're headed. We're headed to that place of overcoming. The Lenten lesson that I want to offer today is leaning into love with Lent. Can you say it with me? Come on. Leaning into love with Lent. Leaning into love with Lent. I want to use this as the title of this message today, because when we're following the journey of the master teacher, Jesus the Christ, whose central teaching was what? Now, you ought to know this, but I should be able to turn my back and hear the answer to this. Whose central teaching was? Love. All right. We're going to have a review after class. Yes, the central teaching is love. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God, come on, with all thy heart, thy soul, thy strength, and love thy neighbor as you love yourself. And then he commented that all of the laws and the prophets hang on this fundamental teaching called what? Love. And so as we are focusing on moving on this Lenten journey with the master teacher, Jesus the Christ, and allowing it to be our own spiritual journey, we want to focus on what he was teaching about through every action. Is that right? To give you a working definition of love, that again is a review for some and new for others, but I said I want you to do what? Get in. Come on, where you fit in. We teach in Unity that love is the idea in divine mind, or in the mind of God, of universal oneness. It is the unifying, harmonizing, magnetizing, binding, and attracting force in the universe. John said that God is, what about it? Love. So anytime we are talking about love, we're not talking about your feelings. Let me walk way back. We're not talking about your set of emotions. We are actually talking about God expressing as the harmonizing, unifying, magnetizing, attracting, binding, and cementing power in the universe. Tell somebody, don't get it twisted. Sometimes we think our emotions are love. Can you imagine if the whole universe had to function on the stability of your emotional state? You're talking about climate change. But we're talking about a universal spiritual principle that we equate with God. God is. So Jesus was always teaching God. Jesus was always showing God. Jesus was always expressing God as love. And so during this mind fasting, soul feasting experience in Lent, we want to center love. We want to lean into love. What are we going to do? Come on, we want to lean in to love. Now, to do this, we'll provide a couple more definitions and an insight that I recently got about Lent. Around this time, we're normally telling you, as a mnemonic device, as a way to remember that you're having this Lenten journey, that Lent is an acronym that states L-E-N-T. What about it? Come on. Let's eliminate negative thinking. Try it again. Let's eliminate negative thinking. That's what we say it represents. And then on the other hand, we say, because in Unity we teach not only that we should deny negativity, but we should affirm the positive. We deny by elimination, and then we affirm by affirmation. What do? We deny through, come on, elimination, and affirm through, again, we deny through, and we affirm through. So let's employ new thoughts is the other side of that Lent acronym. What is it? Come on. Let's employ new thoughts. Now, I recognize that if I'm completely honest with myself, I have not truly been successful at completely eliminating negative thinking. Anybody in here can confess? Oh, look at you, raising them already up. And I said, God, should I tell him to do this again this year? What shall I say? And here is something that I got as an insight in preparing this lesson. Tell somebody, this is the new thing. This is the new thing. This is new. Rather than suggesting to you, let's eliminate negative thinking, let's elevate negative thinking. Say with me, let's elevate negative thinking. Elevation. And the reason is that you and I, when we're operating in the spirit of love, can transmute the lower frequencies of life and raise it to the higher frequencies of life and have it be returned to you in a form that you can use. Are you with me? So we want to take those lower frequencies and do what? Raise them, transmute them in the light of love, and then love transforms it into something you can use. Is that all right? So during this Lenten period, I'm inviting you to elevate. Say with me, take it to the upper room. Come on, to the upper room. To the upper room. Come on. We got to get to the upper room. Now, you know, if you are not in the upper room, don't you? You know how you know? Because you are ready to react rather than respond. The reaction comes from fear. Do you get that? Every reaction that we have that hasn't had a chance to be taken upstairs to the upper room is coming from a place called what? Fear. Fear that somebody doesn't like you anymore. And we are in a like-obsessed culture. Do you know we have gone off the rails with this like me business, please like me business? Now we have codified it into social media such that now I have to have a self-esteem problem if I post something in social media and I don't get 100 likes in the next 2 minutes. Have you seen the addictive pattern in human beings now as people are waiting to be affirmed from the outside? Tell somebody, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. It's very subtle. It's very subtle. And so we have to watch what we let ourselves get hooked onto and hooked into. Now, if you anything like me, you woke up this morning, you looked at yourself and stared straight in the mirror and said, "You good-looking thing, you ought to live forever." Did you say that this morning? I like me so much, I should have two of me. You didn't say that this morning? Miss Donnie, I know you said it. I know you did. I want us to be so filled with the love of God that there's no space outside of us to need anything that needs to affirm my sense of self-worth. Tell somebody, you were born worthy. So now, we said that, so our reactions come from this place of fear. The ego somehow trying to protect the soft and vulnerable parts of our souls. But we are reminded with another acronym that fear is what? You already know it. Come on, Unity. False evidence appearing. What is it? False evidence appearing real. There is no power in it. It is a virus that needs a host. Now, some of us are studying science and have been in the biology classroom where they actually show you the structure of a virus. If you've ever seen, where's Megan? Megan's not here today, but Megan could teach this class. If you've ever seen the structure of a virus, it is fundamentally nothing, but it needs to stick its little antennas, its little, right, down into something that's happy to host it, or unwittingly is hosting it. Are you with me? So we have to be careful what we are feeding with our fear. And we have to be careful who we are feeding with our fear. Fear is always false evidence appearing real. It's not real. Say to the thing, you have no power over me. And so then what is the instruction? How do I move with this same process? I move from fear to faith. If we are following the master teacher, according to what you believe, he said, is what you will, come on, receive. And we teach that faith is the perceiving power of the mind linked with the capacity to shape substance. I have the capacity to shape my experience, not out of fear, but out of love. And so when I move from fear to faith, acronym, I start finding answers in the heart. What is faith? Come on. Finding answers in the heart. What is it? Finding answers in the heart. I start looking within. Not lo here, nor lo there. The very kingdom of God is, come on, within you. I stop looking outside for the answer as I take my journey this Lent. I start finding the answers, come on, in my heart. And you know what the heart is? It's a truth teller. Have you noticed that? Now, and some of us don't check in with our hearts because we don't want to know the truth. They've built all kind of technology around this now. And so if we want to know the truth, we want to look within our hearts, physically and metaphysically. Because we're told that the body is the temple of the living God. Here in Unity, we teach that God indwells us. You get that? So I don't have to find God in a particular place. Say, I am the spot. I am the space. That's where we're looking for God. So now, as we move on this Lenten journey, let's see if we can take just a few steps during Lent, leaning in love, as we are presented precisely how to do it, how to understand what it is so that we can do this. 1 Corinthians 13. This is your homework. See, since I'm getting homework, you know how generous I am. You know how I like to share. I'm working on a final project right now that will end up being somewhere around 70, 80 pages. We've done the first 35 thus far, and still not done with it. We're still tweaking and reconstructing and all that good stuff. So let's not leave you out. Happy to have you join me. 1 Corinthians 13, I'm going to read exactly 7 verses. And then I'm going to zero in on verses 4, 5, 6, and 7. I am going to zero in on 4 verses of this one passage. If I speak in the tongues of men or angels but do not have love, I am a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all my possessions to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but I do not have love, I gain nothing. All right, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is where the work is. You ready? Love is patient. All right, we're done. That just eliminated half the church right there. Remember those games we used to play on the playground in school and you get tagged out? Some of us just got tagged out just right then. You're out. Here it is, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongdoing. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects. It always trusts. It always hopes. It always perseveres. That was 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's your homework. Love. So as we're moving with this soul fasting, mind fasting and soul feasting, let's play with these dynamics just a little bit. Can we do it just a little bit? We are fasting from, so anything in this passage, I want us to work with spiritually, okay? And to do that spiritually, it doesn't mean you sit in your meditation chair and do all these things. You do it on the move. Do you get that? You're doing this in your real life. Have you got it? I'm not saying don't meditate. I'm not saying don't pray. But it doesn't count till it works out in your life. Have you got it? So the definition, the working definition for love is laid out right here in this passage. And we are saying that we're doing spiritual fasting, soul feasting. And so the thing that we are fasting from is the opposite of what the text says here. So where it says love is patient, I am fasting from being what? Come on. I'm fasting from what being? So when I catch myself being impatient, I've stepped out of I've broken my fast. Did you hear what I said? Rev, no, that's just way. Is that hard? Is that hard? Is that good or is that good though? So I want to look at it and I want to say, what is patience? Patience is not tolerance. It's not putting up with. Patience is a broad stroke of trust. What is it? Come on. It is a broad stroke of trust that everything is working out for my good. Say with me, everything is working out for my good. Have you ever seen those folks driving in traffic and they speeding by and quirting and all this sort of movement, rough movement with their cars, only to rush up to the red light? Well, look at you. You made it. To the same place where the rest of us are. It is a broad stroke of what? Trust. I trust that everything is working out for my highest good and greatest joy. I trust that in this moment right now, that things, and hear this, things are precisely the way they need to be in this moment, in this particular moment. So I give a broad stroke of trust. When I'm doing this, I'm feasting on trust. Have you got it? I'm feasting on what the whole purpose of this is, which is to cement my spiritual relationship with God. We're not just doing this so that we can have a spiritual behavior modification program at Unity of Sacramento. The whole point of taking ourselves through this journey is so that I may more and more and more become indivisible with my source. Parts of me that are contradictory to the source start to fall away. And those parts of me that are commensurate with the source start to emerge and expand and grow like that mustard seed. Who's ever seen a mustard seed bush? A mustard, the actual plant. You seen it, Caden? Have you realized how thick and abundant it is? Anybody ever see it? I'm from Chicago and I've seen it. And so this is what the whole point is. More and more I become indivisible with my source, and in that indivisibility, in that inseparability, I begin to operate from the place that when you see me, you see the one, come on, who sent me. God shining through me. Love shining, come on, through me. Peace shining through me. I'm a transparency for the presence. That's the goal. Tell somebody I'm on my way. Tell them I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Tell the truth, I'm halfway there. Some of us say I'm just getting started. Tell them again, get in where you fit in. No judgment in this house. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy. We all know what kindness is. Let me just say, kindness is not being nice. Nice is a function of ego. Nice is a thing that I do so that others will think well of me. I was nice to her, and she was mean to me. You even have to tell it. See, when you're kind, look at the root, kin. Kindness is kinship. I'm operating with you as kin, as one with me. I am treating you in the same manner that I wish to be treated, but kindness takes it one step further. There's the golden rule, I will do unto others as I would have others do unto me. That's the golden rule, but the platinum rule says, do unto others as others would have you do unto them. This is kindness. Have you got it? Kindness eliminates the need to have it be about me. Well, I'm just going to put a little extra sugar in your coffee. I like my coffee sweet, so I'm going to make it sweet for you. But I'm struggling with diabetes. But you're going to love this coffee. I can't do sugar. I'll never forget. I had a friend. I'll never forget. I had a friend. Still have a friend. Have many friends. But I went to her house with her family, and we're all there, and it's one of these big holidays. And so they're serving, and on this particular holiday, the central dish is ham that they've roasted all night in the ground. You know, this is just part of their tradition. And so everybody at this point knows, but her mother, that I do not eat pork. This is just me. Oh no, Rev Kev, this is not pork, it's ham. You're gonna love, and it was so large. It was so large, just laid over the whole plate, rice and everything under it. When I'm being kind, I'm moving past this thing called nice, doing something so that I can collect congratulations from you because my behavior was correct. Kindness says I'm one with you, and I seek to know how to do a thing in such a way that would serve you, that would be of highest service to you. Have you got it? Say, kindness is kinship. Come on, kindness is... And when you're being kind, you're feasting. Because it's always, what, a two-way street. Love does not envy. Love does not envy. What is envy? Wanting somebody else's something. I want your lifestyle and your car. It comes from a consciousness. It comes from a consciousness that there is more of God over there than there is over here. There's more good over in your part of the world than there is, in my part of the world. When I choose not to envy, I begin to feast on the idea that there is no absence of good anywhere, only the presence of good everywhere. I can have a ball over here and a ball over here. Have you got it? I can have joy over here and Remember growing up, I never wanted, often, I always wanted to go over to my friend's house. Isn't this kids? I want to go spend the night over at my friend's house. And my parents would be like, I done bought you this. You got the bunk beds, you got the toys, the $10,000 toys. They weren't $10,000 toys, but you know. All this that I've gotten you, and you can't ever stay at home. It's always better over there. Who knows what I'm talking about? We got some parents that are bearing witness this morning. The reality, the teaching in this case around love is the recognition that right where I am, there is enough God, there is enough good for me. Let's take it as an affirmation. Right where I am, there is enough God, there is enough good for me. And begin to accept that. And if you're working on that, that's all right. I'm not expecting you to have this overnight. Who's working through it? Say, I'm working through it. I'm working through it. I'm working through it. So you want to be confessional with yourself about it so that you know what to work on. You do not want to be in denial with yourself about your own spiritual growth. I'm not going to let me know. I'm not going to let me know that I've got to work on this. But somehow everybody else seems to know you need to work on it. I'm not going to let him find out. It does not boast. It is not proud. Love does not boast. It is not proud. I want us to think about it just real quick. Because often we don't think of ourselves as being boastful. But I want to flip it for a minute. There are ways in which we can be boastful in the negative sense, where we have this habit of one-upping in conversation with other people. Somebody tells you, oh my God, today this, that, and the other happened. It was the greatest thing in the world. I'm so happy with how things went today. And then you turn around and say, oh, that ain't nothing. We do it in the positive, we do it in the negative. Someone says, oh my goodness, I had the roughest day I've ever had. It's been such a challenge. Oh girl, no, you have not, you haven't seen rough. This is being boastful. Tell somebody, watch it, it's subtle. Watch it, it's subtle. What would be possible if I made space for others to starve for a moment in their lives? Do you get that? I don't have to be the star in somebody else's life all the time. Do you get what I'm saying? What if they can be the star of their life and I can sit and watch them shine? Or I can sit with them through their challenge and their pain without making it about, come on, my challenge and my pain. Have you realized that people stop telling you stuff because you take it over? I can't call him no more because every time I call him with my problems, he got 10, 11, 12 to lay back on me. Can we at least take turns? I lay mine down this week and he lays his down next. You get what I'm saying? Do we have homework to do? Yes. Is this real homework? Yes. Now guess what? I haven't even moved past verse 5. That's the work of leaning into Lent. Now I'm going to commission the senior associate minister to pick this up next week. All right? So I'm giving you, Rev E, I'm going to stop at 5 because we'll be here. I want you to take 6 and 7. All right? You got it? Can we keep this journey going? All right, let me finish with 5. Here's 5. See, we were just in 4. But you know how to love. Isn't that something? I got love on lock. You can't tell me nothing about. Well, we just went, love is patient, kind, doesn't envy, doesn't boast, is not proud. That was verse 4. Why? Because we have said that God is love, and so we are breaking down central components of the very nature of God. Why would we think it's going to be this easy walk in the park? We're talking about the ultimate. What are we talking about? All right, 5, and then I'm done. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong. If I got your number, say I'm out. It does not dishonor others. It is not what? Self-seeking. It is not what? Easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong. And so now we're really moving. Remember we talked about taking it from the lower frequency and doing what? Transmuting it and raising it, taking it up to the upper room. This is where that's the real work. It says it is not easily angered. Why am I so easily angered? I want you to ask yourself the question, why am I so easily angered, if that's yours? Because we're easily hurt. Anger is a cover-up or defense emotion for hurt. And and this is the thing, we would rather show people the defensive and protective side of ourselves than the vulnerable and soft parts of ourselves. So I'd rather put my pit bull in the front yard to ward you off than to say, you know what? When you do this, when you say this, when we're this way, it hurts me. Would it be possible that this is the way that invites a new response than eye for an eye behavior? Huh? Oh, I gave her a piece of my mind. Oh, you gave her all that was left. You know you only started with a piece. So the invitation is not to be easily angered. That's what we're fasting from. So let's say it with me. I fast from being easily angered. Doesn't say you can't be angry, but not easily. So what do? I'm going to give you a technique for yourself. When you feel yourself moving into that place, tell yourself, not the other person. Tell yourself, not the condition. Tell yourself, not today. Come on, say it with me, not. Say it again, not today. Say it again, not today. Say it again, not today. I remember when that was one of my spiritual practices, being easily angered. That's before I knew better. And I sent one of those emails. One of my employers I'm not a morning person. Did you all know that, right? Not a morning person. I feel that if God wanted me to be a morning person, God would have moved the morning a little later into the afternoon. And so on a Monday morning, one of my employers, way back yonder, came into my office barking. Didn't come into my office, was standing in the hall, and you should have done, and just going off. I was easily angered. But I was a gentleman. It was not my way to come out in the office to yell at my boss in front of my fellow employees. I didn't do that. But I was a great writer. And in the heat of the moment, I went in and I typed this email. Kind of started off like this. When you see me in the morning, the first thing you say to me when you start seeing me in the morning is, "Good morning, Kevin." All caps. And so I was fired from the position, as you can imagine. Because here's the thing, was not wrong about how I wanted to be treated, right? But because I let anger take the lead, I sabotage my own good. Who's ever written that email? Do you know so many people have done that they now have installed a new device in email that gives you a minute to think it over, and you can call the email back if you sent it? Who knows about this feature now? You can actually snatch it back within a few seconds. Tell somebody, ain't he good? They didn't have that when I was coming along. So we want to avoid all caps and all of that. And the last one. This is the place that we are being called to in this love journey. This very last one might be the hardest of them all. It keeps no record of wrongdoing. It keeps no record of wrongdoing. And so this is the invitation to practice that fishing technique. Catch and release. Anybody fishermen or fisherwomen in here ever go fishing? There are times when you get something on the hook that's not meant for you. It's not meant for your consumption. Somebody's insult is not meant, come on, for my consumption. Somebody's low opinion of me, come on, is not meant for my consumption. See, that's why we're fasting. You understand, during the fasting time, we have to discern what to consume and what not to consume, when to consume it and when not to consume it. It's not meant for my consumption, but if I take it off the hook, who took it off the hook? Just because somebody was dishing up offense does not mean I have to, come on, take offense. I can do what I can catch, come on, and release. I love Dr. Martin Luther King's story about the time he was out. You've heard me tell this. He's out in one of his marches or business meetings. I can't remember which one, but he's in a setting and someone says, "Are you Martin Luther King Jr.?" He says, "Yes, I am." And then the lady spit on him, spit in his face. Oh, that would have been a candidate for one of the all-time things to keep a record of. But Dr. King takes his hanky out. He wipes the spit off of his face. He gives the lady the handkerchief with the spittle on it. And he says to her, "I believe this belongs to you. I believe this belongs to you. I'm not taking anything with me but love. I'm traveling with what? Come on, love. I'm going somewhere to be an event that is an expression of, come on, love. All that I can work on for myself today is, come on, love. And if you're coming short of love, it's not for my consumption. I'm throwing it back. I'm catching and releasing. I'm transmuting it. I'm taking it to the higher level because I want to express at the agape level. The agape level. I want to operate like God. I want to look and feel like God. And God is love. And so, beloveds, you've got your homework. The dean says, life is a school, and as long as you breathe, you're enrolled. I'll see you all at graduation. God bless you. And so it is written, and so I've spoken it, and so you have heard it, and so it is. Amen.